Welcome back to part 2, Seeking the Truth and How to Stop the Lies. Now in part 1, I addressed what lies I was speaking of, and you can watch that here so that the rest of this will make sense. Now, the one thing I did not mention in part 1, and I would like to make it clear, these lies that I'm talking about that we tell ourselves does not mean it's malicious, with it's being done with ill intent, etc. It's just something that we do that we don't even realize it. So how do we stop that? Because we're seeking the truth. So we have to stop the lies before we can actually be open to even recognize the truth when it's presented. I can only speak on what works for me. I don't remember where this awareness came from. There's a lot of things that just come to me. But awareness of the fact that I tell myself lies on a regular basis was the door opening. That awareness was enough for me to start thinking about that, recognizing it when I was doing it, then questioning myself. Why? What was the purpose? Is that going to further my growth? Will that, first of all, lies will never further your growth, by the way. But we're human and we're going to do it. I still do. I try to catch myself. But in this reprogramming of myself, it is an ongoing process. It is an ingrained habit that it takes some time to undo, to reprogram it, to get back to a more realistic mindset. So what do I do when this happens? Well, because I'm aware of it, that was huge. I started seeing it. And it's not lies that I tell other people, by the way. I'm not talking about I interacted with somebody and I lied to them, or I this and I lied about that. It has nothing to do with that. It's the lies that I tell myself. And once I became aware of it and I started noticing it, I had to say to myself, no. That is a lie that is not needed. That is a program. Maybe it was a coping mechanism, I don't know. But whatever that program is, it's not going to allow me to see the truth until I squash it. How do you squash it? Retrain yourself. Each hurdle that I overcame with that, God presented me with the truth. And it was undeniable. It was undeniable. Because I knew what the lies were, I was 100% confident that the truth that was presented to me was absolute truth. And when it's coming from God, there's no questioning it. So, giving you examples of that, and I cannot. I really cannot. Because my personal growth, because we are so unique individually, many things that I would say pertain to me, you wouldn't be able to relate to. But in the first video when I said, why do I lie to myself? Because I want to be accepted, right? That's kind of universal with many. So if I keep using that as the example, I would say to myself, I got an example. I would also always be called upon to help out somebody. Drop what I'm doing to help them out. The lie that I told myself was, I'm needed, they need me to help them out, I'm doing a good thing, I'm following my heart, etc., etc. But the end result of 90% of those requests, I ended up feeling terrible. I was taken advantage of. And, the whole experience, when we help and we give, it's supposed to bring us joy. But when it doesn't bring us joy, that's a red flag. So I would continue to lie to myself about it. Oh, they're just having a bad day. I would justify their behavior. And then when God presented me with a situation that I could no longer justify, that was devastating. Because I had to acknowledge that I put myself in those situations. I had to acknowledge the lies that I told myself to justify being, I'm not going to say abused because that's a harsh word, taken advantage of. I mean, that's just a situation that a lot of people can relate to. But I'm digging deeper in myself than just that. There's a lot more to exposing the lies I tell myself, right, than what I'm willing to share. There's no need. This is my spiritual journey, just like it's yours. But if you gave any thought to that first video, I can guarantee if you are on a spiritual journey, you're going to say, ooh, I never thought of that. And you've been thinking about it. Here and there, not obsessively, but you're going to be, once you hear it, you can't unhear it. Once you know the truth, you can't undo that truth. So when we work on ourselves and we work on the reprogramming, and we just need to be aware, all the thoughts that we have conversations with ourselves. If this is what I've learned so far, if I have to justify something, I need to look at what I'm saying to myself. Am I lying to myself? Because honestly, when we go through our day, we should not have to justify anything with ourselves of what we do, what we think, and how we act. So if I have to justify anything, I know instantly that I'm going to be telling myself a lie, and if I don't stop it right then and there and look at the justification part and understand why I'm going that direction, I'm not going to learn anything. We are all on individual journeys, spiritual or not. You may watch these videos and say, oh, Lordy Lord, this is bullshit. Okay, it's bull. But I can guarantee you heard it. And I can guarantee there will be a situation that comes up that you're going to remember that statement about the lies that you tell yourself. Now, when I get into part 3, I'm going to put the two together. And which is where I'm at now. I'm a work in progress. So this series is going to be a work in progress. I'm going to connect the dots between the lies, the truth, and God. And can't say too much more. That's going to be it. The lies, the truth, and God. I'm going to connect the 3 dots. And when I do that, I think there's many that are going to have a clearer understanding of why we're not going to find truth anywhere else but from within our relationship with God. On that happy note, have a blessed day. See you at part 3.